Welcome to the Wasteland. Hey everyone, I'm Sebastian from KateCast Reviews, and thank you for joining us for another little bit of what we call News from the Wasteland. This is our weekly podcast where we gather around the campfire and discuss our thoughts on the state of the proverbial hellscape that is pop culture. Today I am welcomed by two of my bestest friends in the entire Wasteland who were lucky enough to survive and somehow had nothing better to do on a Sunday afternoon. Emmanuel and Diego, would you care to introduce yourselves to the world, even though I already did that for you?
Hey guys, what's up? This is Diego here at KateCast Reviews. I am here to suffer with two of the best friends anybody could ever ask for. We're going to do some cathartic stuff today, but Sebastian will tell you all about it.
And I believe we also have somebody else here, Mr. Emmanuel. Even though I already introduced you, would you like to let everybody know what you're up to?
Yes, everybody, I'm here to suffer with these two guys and making me sit through hell.
Oh, you already been through hell. You're just living in it. Now...
Yes, but not this kind of hell.
Oh, please. If I wanted to put you to hell, I can make you sit through something much worse.
Yeah, you can live in Florida.
Honestly, I'd rather go get chased by gators than go through this.
You forget, those gators, they evolved. Now they're just tiny little lizards like the ones that you see around here. God, Lord knows that nothing can protect you from those things. And speaking of things you can't be protected from, today we're going to be having a little bit of fun. Instead of simply talking about pop culture as a whole, we're going to be talking about some really, let's call them questionable additions to the world of cinema, which is my way of saying we're going to be shit-talking some really terrible movies. I came up with this idea after checking out a particular old podcast some of you might have heard of. I don't know if you have heard of this channel called Double Toasted. It was this really fun podcast that existed back in the day before the world went to hell. And it was really funny, and they did this all the time because, you know, there's nothing funnier than making fun of a bunch of really terrible films. And I figured since it's already been since this already went down to hell, I figured why not steal that idea and use it as our own.
Why not? It's time to basically go the way Double Toasted did back in the day, which is the movie Roast and Toast.
Exactly. And I ended up picking one movie that was hilarious enough for us to talk about. You picked another, and Diego picked another. We're going to be taking a look at our picks at the end, but I think it's only appropriate that we start with the first movie, which is probably the most recent film that we are going to be talking about, and this is a sequel to a very underappreciated movie that was released back in the day, Spirit Untamed. And I was this close to accidentally calling it Spirit Unleashed, and I quickly corrected myself from doing so.
For a moment, I thought when you said Spirit, I thought, the Spirit had a sequel? I thought the movie bombed.
It did have a sequel! This is the sequel!
I meant Frank. I think you mistook me from.
Wait.
I meant to say the Spirit from Frank Miller's movie.
Oh God.
But I did not think that Spirit would get a sequel, like Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron.
Yes, that same spirit. Or, well, in quotations. We'll talk about what that means in a second. But before we go any further, Emmanuel, how much of this movie do you know?
Honestly, jack shit. It's like I only heard about this movie just last week.
Really?
I didn't know it existed.
You never saw it when it was being promoted?
Not really.
Okay. Well, okay, so this is released at around the same time when Disney and DreamWorks were still competing against each other, and DreamWorks actually had an upper hand in the animation department. And this is one of the last 2D movies that they did before 2D animation went the way of the dodo. And it was a very, let's call it, odd movie. I say odd in the sense that it was definitely a movie, but not like the kind that you would see back in the day where it wasn't very bouncy, there weren't many things happening on screen. It was very, very mild and very tame. Get it? Tame. And wow. If I'm gonna suffer through this, I will die with all the puns that I have at my disposal. But this movie was very calm, very small-minded. Like, it was a movie about a horse named Spirit, get it? And it was about him in the Old West around, like, the 19th century, and there was no dialogue from him or any of the other any of the other animals. It was, shut up! It was just him. It was literally just him wandering around, trotting and minding its own business, all the while Bryan Adams' music played in the background. Yes.
Wait. Don't tell me. Is that Bryan Adams from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
Yes, that Bryan Adams.
So, this movie is actually very underappreciated, and I would like to, before we go on, I would actually like to preface my love for Spirit 1 before we go on to Spirit 2, because I feel like it's the only way to accurately sum up how much I hate this movie.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So, this was Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron, and Spirit Untamed were both movies that I watched very recently, just a few months ago. In fact, Spirit 2 I didn't even know existed until a few months ago. My girlfriend and I both watched both this and the original Spirit back-to-back on the same night. And given that this is a sequel to that original movie, here's my preface for why I hate Spirit Untamed as much as I do. I knew the original Stallion of the Cimarron was good going into this, but I didn't think I'd love it as much as I did. My girlfriend has loved this movie since she was very small. She expressed how much this movie means to her, and I can very clearly see why. I can easily say that Stallion of the Cimarron is not only a hugely underrated film, but possibly one of the best animated movies of all time. As soon as the movie starts, you just know you're watching something special. It has a beautiful animation, a riveting message about freedom against industrialization, and a really accurate look about the impact the westward expansion had on North America. Mm-hmm. And it also has this very unique story told from an unconventional point of view. Few movies nowadays have a protagonist that never speaks a word, but Spirit doesn't need that for you to connect with this horse. That's how special this movie is and how well told this movie is. And I encourage anyone who hasn't seen it to give it a chance. But before I go on, you guys go ahead.
Hold on, you forgot one very important aspect of this movie. It did have a narrator, and you know who that narrator was? Matt Damon!
Great, Jason. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I only heard about Spirit through trailers. I remember the trailer of Spirit. And wait, did it come out in 2002?
It came out in around 2000. Yeah, I think it was 2002. Because this movie came out around the same time that... I don't know if it was around the same time, but it was somewhere in between when the Sinbad movie was being promoted. Because I remember I was in... I think it was in a Catholic camp at once upon a time. Don't worry, I never got touched. And
Oh, God.
Jesus. Isn't that the best way to start this podcast? And there were two horses there who look exactly like Spirit and its love interest. And around that same time, we actually saw the movie in theaters as part of a field trip. So I believe this was around the year before that came out, which around, I want to say it was around 2002. So it was between 2002. Okay, so we were right. And I never watched it growing up. I never got to see it. The only reason that I got to see it is because my girlfriend wanted me to check it out with her because she liked the movie that much. And to the movie's credit, it really is that good. And I do 100% agree that it is a really beautiful and very amazing movie to check out. Especially one that surprisingly doesn't require a lot of talk from animals. Even though the majority of this movie is just animals being animals.
Even though it's narrated by Jason Bourne?
I will take narration by Jason Bourne any day. Let's be honest. Matt Damon is not the worst narrator in the world.
Yep. Okay, so now that it's clear how great Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron is, now that we know how great of a movie it is, I want you to know that Spirit Untamed has none of what made the first movie great. None of the substance, none of the nuance, none of the things that made Spirit 1 special are in Spirit Untamed. They took a story about freedom and courage and turned it into a basic-ass horse girl movie that you've seen a million times and, quite frankly, has been done better every other time. Flicka, Racing Stripes, Secretariat, you fucking name it. If you've seen a horse girl movie, it's probably better than this. Now, if you haven't seen Spirit Untamed, your first thought might be to say, well, you know, maybe they just wanted to take the franchise in a new direction. I'm going to now illustrate to you why that's wrong and why it's blatantly obvious that they only gave a shit about about cashing in on the Spirit IP for money.
Jesus Christ! Daddy's angry.
Yes, and you can imagine my girlfriend who's listening to this right now is even angrier than I am. I said before that Spirit 1 was about how bad the westward expansion was. In that first movie, one of the big climactic action scenes involved Spirit blowing up a construction site and delaying the westward expansion by a good 20 years. Spirit Untamed's protagonist is the heiress to a train company.
Oh.
That is how tone deaf this movie is. The original movie's protagonist was about a horse girl with a free spirit. Sorry, with a horse. The original movie's protagonist was about a horse with a free spirit who was taken from his home and just wants to go back to his family. And in the process, he teaches other people about the value of freedom, like that female horse that he gets together with at the end, and the Native American kid that helps him escape from the army guys. In this movie, the horse is stripped of all agency, and everything bad that happens to him in the movie is because the main girl just won't leave him the fuck alone, because she, quote-unquote, feels connected to him, and there's something special about him. He's like me. He's a wild spirit. He just wants to be free, except she won't leave him the fuck alone, so it's a big contradiction. There are so many stupid subplots in this movie, too, like the inept parents who don't realize that their daughters have been missing all day when they go on this big adventure at the end. The dumbest one is this question, which is actually a subplot in this movie. If a train is going 25 miles per hour for 3 hours, how long will it take to reach its destination or whatever? It's a subplot. They actually made a stupid math question a subplot. I shit you not. The worst part visually is the animation, though, and Sebastian knew how angry I was about this.
Oh my god. This movie was the animation in this movie is so bad that it makes me question where the fuck it's taking place in. Is this supposed to be taking place in the Old West? Because if it is, it feels like the people who animated this movie didn't know how the Old West actually looks like. Because you got sequences where they're surrounded by green, like there's trees, there's foliage everywhere, and then in a few blocks away, there's fucking rocks and mountains, and it's just dead. Everything is dead. Like, where is this taking place in? Where the hell are they?
I'm not even sure that this movie takes place on Earth, to be honest with you.
God.
Like, that's how bad this is. Like, who made these environments? What part of America is this?
This entire movie feels like it was animated by Illumination Entertainment, and yet I hate to say it, but Illumination Entertainment at least puts more effort into their backgrounds than they did here. Blech, I feel so disgusting because I just praised Illumination, and I'm not talking about the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is the only time I will ever be justified in saying something nice about them. Oh my god.
Overall, there you go. The rant over. Spirit Untamed, 0 out of 10. I hated it. If you're a fan of the original Spirit, you're probably going to hate this movie. Even newcomers will probably fall asleep if they're not just entranced by how bad it is. Ugh.
I think I would love to, but you're not here. This entire movie is so weird in terms of its of its story. Like, I don't know what kind of story it's trying to tell here, but I question why Spirit is even in this. Like, you could have removed Spirit the horse out of this and just replaced it with any horse in the world, and the story would have been the same. This is not a movie about Spirit, the character from the Spirit Stein of the Cimarron movie. This is a movie about, oh god, I'm about to go on a rant, about a main character who is this adorable Latina girl who lost her mother in what I assume, because it took me 2 watches to get it right, was that she dies in a horse accident.
She falls off a horse.
I would have sure loved to see that, because the way that the movie edited that made it so difficult for me to tell that that's what happened. And you want to know what this character's name is? Her name is, I swear to God, Fortuna Prescott. And you want to know what they call her in English? Lucky. Get it? Fortuna?
So
Lucky? Get it? This movie is so clever!
Oh my god. The writing in this movie is terrible.
The movie is so weirdly written because you got people who sound natively Spanish all throughout this entire film, and they're speaking without subtitles, which I thought was pretty cool. And then you got American dudes speaking with the worst Spanish dialects. It sounds like Peggy Hill is being the dialect coach for all of these people.
Peggy Hill.
I kept expecting one of them to be like, "Estoy muy embarazada."
I'm very pregnant, for those who don't know.
Exactly. This movie doesn't know if it wants to be diverse or if it wants to be white as toast. Speaking of white as toast, can we talk about the group of friends?
Oh god. Okay, so I will say there is actually one moment that made me laugh, kind of. It was the scene where, like, the white blonde girl is, like, making shadow puppets, and it's, like, this ridiculous thing that you can't make with your hands. I thought that was actually kind of funny. That is the only thing that made me laugh in this movie, that, like, actually intentionally made me laugh.
Oh my god. I think, literally, from all the reviews that I found for this movie, all of them seem to point at that one little white girl asking her to shut the fuck up.
Yep, she's very annoying.
Emmanuel, did you even see this movie that we're talking about?
Unfortunately, I didn't have the time. Too much stuff happened in my personal life that I couldn't have the time to watch Spirit. But from what you described, wow, this movie made me. If I watched it, I would have just pulled my hair out and just call it a day. Because holy crap, they at least did not even have the dignity to put an effort to this.
It's like they didn't even watch the first movie.
It really feels like this movie was done by people who've never seen the original.
And
can you believe this movie has a cast?
Hell, Disney sequel. You know that Disney used to do animated sequels to their classics on DVDs.
This movie feels like exactly that. It feels like a Disney original sequel, or like a straight to DVD sequel, but it was released in 2021. Like, this was almost two decades after the original movie. Who was asking for a sequel to fucking Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron? And if you're gonna do a sequel, why would you do it like this?
Yeah, I don't really feel the story even warrants a sequel, because it's like, you did everything you wanted to do in that first one. I don't really see how a sequel could get made.
And the first one didn't do too well in the first place either.
It did modestly well. You gotta remember, this movie was a lot of things, but it was definitely a film that was skipped upon by many people who found it kind of boring, because it's a movie where kids actually have to be patient, and it's not a movie where shit is happening on screen and it shuts up your kids for 90 minutes. So this movie was basically criticized for not being home on the range, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that they released this sequel, in 2021, I would have expected this movie to come out in 2004 on DVD.
This movie is animated like it was made in 2004. I remember the trailers for this movie, and I was like, what year is this movie from? Because it doesn't look like it was made this year.
That is how little effort they put into this.
This entire movie feels so weirdly animated, and your animation is bad when your main protagonist is appearing on sites that are not safe for work.
Yup. Oh god, constantly putting yourself in danger. Do you want to talk about how mad the parents made you, Sebastian?
Oh, Jesus Christ, where do I start? First of all, you have Jake Gyllenhaal as her dad, and nobody calls him daddy. That alone is a problem.
Wow.
Second of all, these are the worst parents I have ever seen in my life, even worse than the ones from The Amazing World of Gumball. Papa Prescott is such a useless fuck who does nothing in this movie. He does nothing but whine and complain and just be a complete neurotic tool throughout the entire film. And when he's not getting mad at his daughter for no reason, the relationship that he has with her is so distant and disconnected that I swear to God, I feel like he was supposed to be an adopted parent or something. Like somebody who was basically forced to take care of this child after their real parents passed away. But no, this is supposed to be her biological dad. This is her dad, and he feels like a distant cousin. Like, Nani and Lilo's relationship and Lilo and Stitch, those were siblings, and yet they feel more like mother and daughter than these two feel like father and daughter. And also, what's up with the strawberry stuff? Whose
This
room?
movie loves strawberries, guys.
Like the girl for her name, the girl Lucky, her dad makes this entire room made out of strawberries, and I assume this is supposed to be because his wife was into strawberries. Who was he married to? Amarichu? Who needs this many strawberries?
I don't understand how a person could base their entire personality around a fruit.
I mean,
That doesn't make sense to me.
it was like, if you're gonna base your entire personality on a fruit, at least make it something more cool, like oranges. Oranges are awesome.
Yeah, you can make juice. You can make other stuff with them.
Like what? Come on, no, you brought it up. What else can you do?
You can throw them out when you're done eating them.
Jesus Christ.
That's it.
Oh my god. Emmanuel, what fruit would you like to base your personality on?
Apple, maybe.
The apple? An
yeah.
apple?
Foreshadowing.
No, foreshadowing. Oh god. So, okay, hold on. So, one thing that oh god, hold on. Juice with pulp. Thank you, Stephanie. Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ.
Yum.
One thing that I loved about this movie was the obvious bad guy who was obvious because they had fucking wanted posters everywhere, and yet everybody was like, who are these guys? We don't know who they are. It's like, do you assholes not have eyes? They have wanted posters everywhere, and they're not exactly in disguise, you know? How are you people not noticing this?
And oh my god, we were still talking about the cast. Walton Goggins plays this guy.
Yes! Walton Goggins from Django Unchained.
Jesus Christ.
Wait,
Yes!
the same one. Wait, hold up. The same Walton Goggins from Django Unchained.
Yes!
And the Hateful Eight.
Yes! He was the bad guy in this movie! This guy gets introduced as some random person who helps the little girl from killing herself in a train, and then suddenly he's the bad guy. Wait, what? Did I miss a scene?
It's like ludonarrative dissonance at its best right there. Oh my god.
I swear to God, this entire movie felt like it had 20 minutes of it that were removed from the FBI.
Do you want to talk about why that might be?
Oh God, why was that? Why might that be the case?
Well, you mentioned it yourself when I first brought up Spirit Untamed. Is that this unfortunately, you guys, and I'm gonna traumatize some people here.
Oh.
The internet is a dark place, and Spirit Untamed has Rule 34 porn.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Moving on.
Oh,
Jesus.
God. We're not gonna go into it, but just know that it exists.
It exists. It exists, and it should be made buried in the Ark of the Covenant, never to be opened again.
Hold on. Oh, guys, hold on. I have a message. Okay. It says here, en route to your location.
Oh no,
Well,
Sebastian. We gotta get out of here.
but we still have an hour and 30 minutes left.
Wait, how the hell can the FBI still exist? We're in the apocalypse.
I don't know. How do we still have Wi-Fi in the apocalypse?
Ugh.
There's a lot of things that don't make sense about this world. Scary stuff. Nothing.
Much like the existence of Spirit Untamed.
Jesus Christ.
This movie has one hilarious line that Sebastian absolutely loved.
Oh my God.
When he first heard it for the first time. Are you gonna tell us what it is?
I Hold on. We need a train. I am the train.
Yes, classic. I love that.
Leaving that without context is almost as funny as with context, but if y'all don't know, apparently the dad, Jake Gyllenhaal character, has a fucking... He has like a tiny little train inside of his garage somewhere that he just has this, and
we've never seen it before. We've never we know he's like the owner of the train company, but we don't actually establish that he owns like a train for personal use.
No, you know what this is? This is the equivalent of this taking place in modern times. The dad being the owner of a car company, and him basically having a convertible on the sideline.
Yeah, because they had to have some sort of vehicle or something fast to take them like across the country or whatever, or across the planet, wherever it is this movie takes place.
This is a movie about horses. Remember that this is a movie about horses. Did they go on horses? No. I am the train.
Oh God! I thought he did something there.
This movie. Why is this the second? Why is this the second movie? The second animated movie that I've seen with Jake Gyllenhaal where he plays a neurotic parent.
Which one's the first one?
This is the first one. The second one was Strange World.
Oh.
Yeah,
Gosh.
and at least that movie was better written than this.
Yeah, you're right.
Holy shit. So, I think we've spoken enough about Spirit Untamed, but we're not out of the woods yet. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of me, I am stealing a little gag from a much better and much more entertaining podcast that is Musicals with Cheese. Emmanuel, Diego, we're gonna play a little game that requires the two of you to guess. Is this a positive review or a negative review? I coupled together a bunch of different reviews from an old website called Letterboxd, you might have heard of it, where you need to decide, based on what I'm about to read to you, whether this is a 5-star review or a 1-star review.
Okay, I'd have a hard time believing Spirit Untamed has any positive reviews, but you go ahead.
You'd be surprised. I'll be asking each of you individually. Let's go ahead. Who wants to go first?
All right.
I'll go first.
All right, then. Go ahead.
All right, Emmanuel, here is the first one. At least Matt Damon's gone.
I would say that's a 5-star.
It's actually a 1-star.
What? At least Matt Damon is gone.
Yes! It is. You would think that that's a 5-star, but it's actually a 1.
Aw, he didn't do so bad.
Maybe. Let's see. Alright. Diego. Such good lighting.
This is a positive review?
I don't know. Is it? 1-star or 5-star? Which is it?
It's a 5-star.
It's a 5-star, yes.
Oh my God! Wow, 10 out of 10, best review of all time.
Oh my
I'll
god.
give him a 10 for comprehension. I'll tell you that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this guy has good taste.
Clearly.
Oh,
Okay, let's see. Alright. Emmanuel. Oscar-nominated actor Jake Gyllenhaal. I am the train. Jake sings! Jake sings! Oh my fucking god!
I'm guessing that would be a 5.
It's a 1-star.
It's a 1? He's so happy that Jake Gyllenhaal is in this movie.
You would think that! You would absolutely think that!
The line "I am the train" is the best part of the whole movie.
That line needs its own fucking t-shirt.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Diego. Literally only watched to knock it off the Jake Gyllenhaal filmography. Skullface.
That's a 1-star for sure.
That is a 1-star. Yes.
Oh my god. I feel his pain.
Oh my god. Alright, Emmanuel. Let's see here. Okay. Oh god. Let's see. I have always been interested in horses, so I watch a lot of horsey movies. This is a good kids movie, very entertaining.
5 stars.
That is 5 stars. Yes.
Yeah.
Aw, that was cute.
Okay. All right. Diego, let me see. Okay, here's a good one. Lucky. Why can't I ride a horse? Jake Gyllenhaal. Because horses killed my wife, okay?
Part of me wants to say 5 stars, but I know that's a 1 star.
And you'd be right. It is 1 star. Oh, God. Okay, last one. We're gonna be doing 2 more. Emmanuel? Hold on, let me see if I can find a good one for you. Let's see. Okay. One of my favorite memories will be seeing this with my 10-year-old daughter and seeing her face light up through the whole thing. It was the best.
1 star.
That was a trick question. That was 5.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
It's like, you never know what you're gonna get with these. And last one, Diego. 9 p.m. Flatirons crossing 14.
What?
Let me repeat. 9 p.m. Flatirons crossing 14.
Is that a 1 star?
Is it?
It's a 1 star.
It's a 5.
Oh, you're shitting me!
Nope!
What is that? Is that a review?
It's a review! It has 5 stars! I found it! It made me laugh for 10 minutes! I thought it would be funny. And I was right.
I'm short circuiting. I can't. Jesus Christ!
Oh, okay. For this one's not gonna be part of the game. I just thought it would be hilarious. These are half-star reviews that I found, and I think you're gonna love this. The girlfriend told me to leave a bad review. Half-star.
Well, that sounds oddly like something that would happen between me and my girlfriend, because she would 100% let me roast this movie to death.
That's why I'm reading it, because that would totally be something your girlfriend would have made you say.
I would have said it on my own, bro.
Oh my goodness. Well, that about leaves us talking about Spirit Untamed. Let's go ahead and move on to the more hilarious ones, but before we do that, we'll be taking a quick little break, and we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back! Alright, now that we finished talking about Spirit Untamed, we're about to talk about two particular movies in the line of films created by Canon Pictures. We ended up coming up with two different movies that were each made by Canon Films, one of which is a hilarious musical that some of you theater nerds already know what it is, and the other is a schlocky ninja movie that I've never heard of until a couple of days ago. And Manuel, since you picked it, why don't you give us a rundown of what this movie is?
What is it, this movie? It's a ninja movie with a ninja getting his revenge.
No shit.
But he's dead. Oh, he's not. He just finds this woman and his spirit possesses her. So it's a ninja meets an exorcist, meets Flashdance, meets a cop who clearly needs a shave. And plus, insanity ensues. What more can I ask or say about this movie?
That's putting it both. This movie is called Ninja 3, The Domination. Domination of what? I have no fucking idea. But this was a movie that, believe it or not, was pretty difficult for me to find digitally. It only took me a few minutes to realize I should not have to pay for a subscription service to watch it when it was available online for free on the Internet Archive. Asshole.
Well,
This
I wish you could tell me the link because I have to pay $3 for this.
you fuck.
Honestly, it wouldn't have been worth the money anyway.
No, it really wouldn't. Like,
Honestly, I think I'm glad I spent $3 because I'm having a blast watching this.
this movie is such like how do we even start talking about this? Okay, we'll start from the beginning. The movie begins with this shot of what I think is supposed to be the Mojave Desert. I have no idea where this movie takes
It's Los
place.
Angeles. I'm pretty sure it's Los Angeles, California.
Probably.
Somewhere in the desert.
Yeah, so there's an Asian guy in the desert. He goes inside of a cave, and it looks like the beginning of... It looks like that one deleted scene from Return of the Jedi, where he's gathering his ninja stuff. He puts on his ninja stuff, and he's dressed in white. First of all, you're a ninja.
He's dressed in gray.
Gray? That thing looked whiter than I am.
Honestly, man, must be your TV because when I'm seeing it, it looked like a gray, greenish look to it. But still, also, ninjas don't operate in the day; they're at night.
Not even that. The motherfucker is hiding in the bushes. Yeah, no one's gonna see the obvious dude in white hiding in the bushes somewhere, and his mission is to kill a bunch of white people in a golf course in Mar-a-Lago?
I'm short-circuiting again.
This entire movie opens with a fucking ninja just committing genocide and a golf course. And the only thing that I could think of was, is this the guy who planted is this the guy who planted the stolen papers in Mar-a-Lago? Like, have we been blaming Trump this whole time when it was his fault?
That's what we all thought. Like, we were just, like, trying to piece together what we could. Because I'll tell you this movie does not explain shit. It just expects you to figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, yeah, but honestly, why the hell would you want to see? Why the hell would you want to think when you watch a movie that's crazy? It's pointless. You should just enjoy the ride.
Honestly, I think it's more fun when you can't figure it out and you're just trying to like decipher like what is happening, like what is this sequence of events.
The entire sequence of events happening here, I think I said it best when I said that this feels like the most accurate depiction of someone playing on Rampage mode in GTA. Like, just balls out insanity, you grabbing whatever weapon you get and just blowing the fuck out of everybody, or in this case, stabbing the fuck out of everybody. In the least bloodiest bloodbath I have ever seen in my life. Because
they couldn't afford that much blood.
They couldn't afford any. I think the few blood that we saw in this movie was leftover chocolate sauce from Psycho.
Really? Yeah. I mean, you would think this is an R-rated movie. You would think you would see a bloodbath, but it isn't. Well, because it's canon because they're that cheap.
Exactly. They're cheap and they can't afford blood, but they can sure as shit afford to get all the extras in the world to stab and kill. This movie has such a weird fetish for killing cops.
The opening scene is fantastic. It's like the best action scene of the whole thing. He's going full Terminator on these guys on a golf course, taking more bullets than Tony Montana at the end of Scarface, and he's still murking cops left and right like it's GTA 5. I mean, I felt like I was watching Deadpool.
No, what killed me is when
no. Hold up a second, Sebastian. Hold up. Before that, he kills the guy. He kills whatever he was hired to kill. A millionaire golf, whatever. But he goes, he runs away, and he gets chased by the cop car, and then what? Jumps. He has the strength. This guy, whatever maybe he was a PCP because he just smashed his fist on top of the hood of the car and just killed these guys, and he's still going and going, and also these cops are idiots. Like this one scene where the ninja is hiding in the pool, it was a lake, and he has this, those tubes to breathe. Like
I know what those tubes are. I forgot what they were called, but yes, he was literally hiding in the small amount of water, but they couldn't notice him, even though he's wearing absolutely zero camouflage whatsoever, and yet he's able to stab him, shoot him with whatever the hell he had hiding in there, and oh my god, this character is, people get mad at women who are quote-unquote Mary Sues because they're too perfect. This guy is the ultimate Mary Sue, and yet no one seems to complain about that.
That was wild, dude. Can we talk about the scene where he takes out the helicopter?
God, yes! The fucking helicopter!
I laughed my ass off. I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard because of this. Man, how the hell can a cop can't tell that his pilot is dead with a shuriken on his what is it, on the forehead that he
like in his eye or something? Oh god, that was so stupid. And they can't afford to blow up a real helicopter, so they have this helicopter that's like in the middle of a field, fly like 20 miles out to the nearest mountain, hide behind it, and then just stage an explosion in the front.
God, I couldn't believe. I was making it just like, can they afford the explosion? Nope, they can't afford the explosion. Oh, we got an explosion! Yay!
That was the most impressive part, is that they could actually afford something like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a saying. It's bad because they were trying. They were trying way too hard.
You know what this movie feels like? This feels like the R-rated Power Rangers movie that we never got.
Yeah, and also, can we talk about now? How about this ninja gets shot like 30 times, and he still goes like, and he gets shot more than Tony Montana in the last movie. Or freaking Officer Murphy in RoboCop.
Nothing can kill this ninja. The only thing that can kill this ninja is bad acting.
No, it's the plot, because he just plops dead like 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
When the main character, Christy, I think her name is, finds him, and it's like, I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna kill you for no reason, and then dead. And he's like, I need you to take this and stab me with it. Nope, I'm just gonna die anyway. Bye. And she takes the sword with her. She reports the guy to the police. Then she gets arrested by the police. The officer, Secord, who kind of looks like a really bad Adrian Brody lookalike. He's flirting with her. And she's like, I don't date cops. 5 minutes later, I'm gonna fuck this cop.
Yeah, this movie over-sexualizes its main character way too much.
No shit, really? Are we gonna talk about... Oh god. We gotta talk about the V8 scene.
That was fucking gross, bro.
I know! It was
V8. Oh, you mean the...
With their... God damn it, Emmanuel, why did you make me sit through that?
If it was like champagne or like some type of like exotic drink, like a wine or something, maybe... But it's vegetable juice.
It's like, I could have had a V8, but I spilled it all over her stomach.
Remember, producers were Israeli and they were cheap, so we can't afford champagne, so V8. I don't know if V8 is can be hot. I don't care. Just put V8. Let's just V8 and make it the most sexiest way we can because that's how much we can afford this.
If,
It's product placement.
this entire movie is riddled with product placements. Like, 1 minute we have V8, the next minute we have Coca-Cola, next minute we got Pepsi, and yet this movie feels like way cheaper than any shitty 80s movie I've ever seen. And I've seen some 80s movies that were cheap. The original Terminator was a cheap movie, and look how good that was. What the hell is this movie's excuse?
Yeah. But you can't deny how the fight scenes are incredible, how crazy it is, and also the fact that you go from ninja to exorcism because there's a scene in this movie where the girl, was it Christy?
Christy. Her name is Christy, yes.
Yeah, some scenes remind me of freaking Ghostbusters where Sigourney Weaver's character.
Yes! We were making those jokes throughout the whole movie.
And this movie came out the same year as Ghostbusters.
There is no Dana, only Zool.
There is no Dana, only Zool.
Oh, instead of a refrigerator, it's an arcade machine. It's an arcade machine. That's how she gets possessed by lasers.
Lasers. Zool has upgraded to lasers. Where the fuck is Gozer when you need him? Or them, however the fuck they identify as.
And another movie that this movie takes inspiration from is Flashdance. The director of this movie really likes Flashdance.
Oh my god!
There's so many scenes that are just characters doing jazzercise. There's like 5 or 6 of them. It's there's like so many montages of just people doing exercise, like people moving their legs and their arms up and down in the camera, and oh god, what is this? Like, what was this movie, man?
I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. If there was ever a moment for the song to play in, it's when she's stabbing all the cops. She's like, she's a maniac on the floor, and she's stabbing them like never has before. Like, this entire movie looks like it was waiting for that song to pop in because she ends up murking a bunch of cops afterwards. Again, this movie has a oddly fetishistic obsession with slaying cops. Like, this is way the hell before... This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is way before the Rodney King thing happened. So, you would think that back in the day that cops would be treated with a little bit more respect, but no. Every cop in this movie, including the main protagonist's love interest, is a fucking imbecile.
It's convenient writing. That's all it is.
It may be convenient, but Jesus Christ, everyone in this movie is a fucking idiot. Like, how are LA cops this inept in the 80s? I say that not knowing how inept they are today.
Yeah. And can we talk about how this guy, his boyfriend, who suggested that, oh, there's this guy I heard from the Asiatic division, which, man, that would not hold up today.
God, that was so cringy.
Yeah, when he said, "Oh, there's this guy that I heard from the Asiatic division where he's barely some voodoo doctor or whatever, and maybe he can help out."
It's James. It's James Hong. Are we talking about James Hong?
Yeah, James Hong is in this movie with a Fu Manchu stash.
Yes. that entire scene turned this movie into The Exorcist.
Yeah.
The only thing
I wonder, how did you guys manage? Like, were you like, am I smoking? Did I sniff too much cocaine with LSD for this?
I legit thought the only thing that would make this scene better is if the fucking Asian guy was actually Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks.
Well, that's it. We gotta kill this white bitch.
Oh, Jesus. No, she wouldn't. No, he wouldn't want to kill her, though, because that man is racist. The other way around. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, right.
That entire scene looked like it was begging for Jordan Peele to make that funnier.
Or a porn parody. Because that scene had way too much bondage in it.
God.
I was just too confused and amazed at how crazy this movie just lost his goddamn mind.
I like the moment where the woman was spinning all over the place afterwards.
Oh, spinning on the ropes that
Yes!
were like on her waist.
Like, what part? Okay, I'm confused. So, is she actually possessed? Is the ghost of the ninja really just trying to take over her body? What is the what movie? Can you maybe give me some cohesion so I can understand what the fuck is going on?
No, the director of this movie just likes foosball. It was a foosball.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, and also in terms of porn, nothing can feel more like it's a porno than that scene where if she sees a cop with these two girls, and when she sees the cop, it goes like Kill Bill.
God, I've been making a bunch of Kill Bill jokes throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
That's most like Kill Bill.
I love that scene in the hot tub though, because she's just there to kill this one cop, but then the other women are in there. It's like, oh, I bet he's enjoying that. And it's like, well, fuck you too, bitch. I'll kill you, and now you're all dead. I don't know why I killed you, but you're dead, so who cares? Bye bye. And she just leaves.
Now that felt more like a porno with the bad acting and everything. You would think that like it's gonna turn into a threesome or something, or nope, dead. Yep. She put the kibosh on these three.
Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
This is a movie that doesn't know if it wants to be taken seriously or if it wants to be taken with a satirical view. Also, since we're talking about ninjas, we need to talk about the Asian representation in this movie.
Very stereotypical.
Okay, so you guys need to correct me on this. Were all the Asians in this movie dubbed over? Because none of them sounded that they were speaking, like, at all. It looked like they were all horribly ADR'd.
All of them except maybe James Hong.
Yeah, James Hong is the only one who sounded like he wasn't being dubbed over. But every other Asian, including the main protagonist, who, I shit you not, is called the Black Ninja. I thought that they were talking about an actual black ninja, but no, it's just a ninja who wears black, because the white ninja's the bad guy.
It's either racist or we just didn't have enough context for it, because again, there are two other movies preceding this. Not that I want to watch them, but
I recommend you do. I recommend that you do.
I'm not sure I will, but I'll think about it.
Maybe.
Anyway, the point is, it feels like we're either missing context or it really is as fucked up as it is.
This entire film is just so... It's so odd. Nothing in the movie makes any cohesive sense. Like, nothing is structured properly. And the only one that gets any kind of backstory is the Black Ninja, because we see how he lost his eye, and that adds absolutely nothing to the story, because I don't know who he is. Why is he hunting him down? Is the White Ninja his father? Is he not? Why is he hunting him? Were we following the bad guy this whole time? Was the main protagonist the villain? What is happening here?
Yeah. I like to think that it's the eye patch ninja is more like he's after revenge, because the white ninja killed his master, put a shuriken on his eye, and made me think, did Ed stole this and made the Shirai Ryu and Lin Kuei rivalry from this movie? This feels like Scorpion's origin story.
Honestly, this feels like it was trying to be a Mortal Kombat movie, but it forgot how to do it.
Still better than the newest Mortal Kombat movie, I'll tell you that.
Oh yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Even the way that the movie ends is so bizarre, because they somehow are able to defeat the ninja, and then he causes an earthquake, falls down, and he's dead, except not really. He tries pulling him down to, I guess, hell, or whatever the hell it is, because they couldn't animate, or they couldn't have the budget to make hell appear, and he just sort of pushes him off, and then that's it, he's dead. Like, this is the most stubborn ninja in the world. Like, he refuses to fucking die.
Didn't you say he was like that one lady in Austin Powers?
Yes! He was basically the ninja equivalent of that chick from Austin Powers who's like, use the machine gun! You stop bazooka! The fall will
Why
kill
won't you
us!
die?
The fall will kill us both, powers! It's like,
God.
nothing can kill this woman, and nothing can kill this asshole either. This,
Oh man, this movie's on drugs.
I think this movie didn't have enough drugs. Like, this movie needed less cocaine and more weed.
But then again, most of the canon films were made on cocaine.
Maybe. But this movie, it feels like they didn't do enough cocaine. Because no one in this movie looked like they knew what the hell they were doing.
Yeah, but it's fun. And as long as it's fun, I'm happy with it because my god, I had so much. It's such a blast because of how it's like they made this movie on the fly. Like, okay, we gotta have a script. Okay, well, this script is called Ninja 3: The Domination. Cool, let's go. We got like a month to shoot this. Go, 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 go.
That's funny enough. That's the kind of vibe I got when we watched another movie that we're going to be talking about later. But my favorite was that throughout this entire film, it really feels like they took the cheapest and laziest way of filming everything. Like, there's my favorite moment in this entire movie is right after the ninja finally dies, and we see the main protagonist in a jazzercise club. She and everyone else is outside, and she starts getting heckled by these men who all try to gang up on her and start hitting on her, and all of these people are outside looking at this happening, and not a goddamn one of them is doing anything. It's like, should we do something? Nah, let's just see where this goes. And she's getting ambushed by all these people, and if it weren't for the fact that she got possessed by a dead ninja, God only knows what they would have done. And what happens after she defends herself from these people that try to kill her? And by the way, during this scene, she literally breaks apart a steel pipe and uses it as a weapon. Yeah, this woman could break a steel pipe now. Her fucking cop boyfriend arrests her.
Yeah,
like it was her fault or something.
But I thought that he was starting to get suspicious because her fighting style and the fact that he finds the sword, feel like this might form a connection on that.
What connection? It's like, are you trying to say that they were using the logic of superheroes and superpowers in this? Which, by the way, was anyone really shocked when it turns out that the ninja actually does have legitimate superpowers?
Honestly, I feel like, well, I'm just going with the flow. Yeah, fuck it. That's all I can say about this movie. Fuck it. Don't question it, because if you do start to question it, your ears will start to bleed and your nose start to bleed, and then you'll pass out.
I'm already feeling like I'm about to pass out with this movie, because nothing in this movie makes any fucking sense.
But do you want it to make sense? Because if it wants to make sense, it will be boring.
Maybe. I get that, but still, like, have some fucking cohesion, please. At least help me understand, because this feels like a bad movie that is too stupid to be bad, but too smart to be good. Like, it wants to be a fun, bad movie, but it doesn't know how to be a movie at the same time. Like, it feels like a movie that was made by a bunch of teenagers who just wanted to make a movie and then show it to their friends.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this, it ain't boring.
Oh, I'll give it that. It sure as hell isn't boring. Anybody else have anything they want to say about the movie before we move on to the Letterboxd reviews?
I'm all tapped out, man, because this movie is baffling. Like, it's one of those movies that you have to see to believe it. Like, you have to really just take it in, like, firsthand.
It is absurd in the most fun possible way. So much cheese, such glorious cheese, that simply talking about it won't be enough. You have to see it for yourself.
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I say it's about time we go ahead and continue on with our little game. So, I compiled a couple of really funny reviews for you guys to guess, and I want you to tell me which of these are positive and which of these are negative. Who wants to go first?
You, Diego. Why don't you go first?
Sure.
All right then, Diego. Let's see which ones do we got for you here. 1 dash Poltergeist, 2 dashes Evil Dead. Oh, and Ninjas.
5 stars.
5 stars. That is correct.
Woo!
All right, so that's 1 point for Diego. Emmanuel, let's see. Let's see. If this movie got half a star for every film it's trying to be, it would have 4 stars.
5 stars?
That is 1 star.
Well,
Okay, let's. Diego, V8 is not a sexy beverage, no matter what this movie tries to tell you. It's a bizarro mishmash of nonsense, but it's not boring.
Much like V8. Okay, I'm gonna go with 5 stars.
That is 1 star.
Ah.
I know. Trust me, you would have thought that was a 5 star as well. Let's see now. Emmanuel. Let's see here. All cops are dorks. 1 sword on fishing line out of 5.
5 stars?
That is 1 star.
I thought it was being ironic or something, or maybe
You
he said because
You never
Because I
know
thought
if it's ironic or not with these people.
no, because I thought that he wrote this review because he hates cops.
Okay, let's see. Diego, crack a V8 and prepare for awesomeness to ensue.
God, okay, that's the drink of choice that this movie presents. Okay. 5 stars.
That is 5 stars.
Yeah.
Alright, last one for the both of you. Emmanuel. Let's see. Okay, what do we got here? The Star Wars holiday special of the ninja-sploitation genre.
5 stars?
That is 5 stars.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god. Alright, Diego, last one. If you... God damn these people. If you don't love a ninja on a golf course, there is something wrong with your soul.
That's gotta be 5 stars, man.
And you'd be right. It is 5 stars. Oh my fucking god. And that's the game. Diego once again dominates by 2 points, I think? I stopped keeping track. Okay.
Let's go with that.
Probably. Alright, and now we're gonna get to our last movie, but before we do that, we will be right back after these messages, so don't go away. And we are back! Alright, thank you all for still enjoying the stream, all 1 concurrent viewers. Now, the last movie that we have to talk about is yet another canon film, and this one was actually recommended to me by the lovely Jessie McNally from the Musicals with Cheese podcast. And this is a really, really interesting movie for us to talk about. So, I've always been a fan of musical movies, but I never really thought about how many bad musical movies there were. And whenever I think of bad musical movies, I'm usually just thinking about those that have Pasek and Paul doing music. But we're not here to talk about Dear Evan Hansen anymore. Instead, I wanted to see what is one of the best, worst musical movies that we could have possibly have talked about here on this show. And the one thing that everyone, including Mr. McNally himself, recommended for me is, of course, The Apple. Directed by Golan himself of Golan Globus, this movie is, to put it mildly, a fucking miracle. And because it's Easter Sunday, it only makes sense that we end this with a fucking religious movie. If you can't even call it a religious movie. This...
Oh, man.
So, where the hell do we start with this? So, the movie takes place in the futuristic dystopian world of 1994. Give me a...
Ooh, exotic.
I need to drink to that. And in this world, keep in mind, I'm just going by what the movie gave us because, like Ninja 3, nothing in the movie is explained all that well. And this is apparently a dystopian universe where, apparently, Vincent Price from the Thriller music video is the leader of this conglomerate that is basically maintaining order in this world, and they try to get this couple, Bibby and Marty, Alfie, some shit, Brian Adams, I don't know what this guy's name is, and
Alfie.
they get this Canadian couple where the love interest does not sound fucking Canadian in any way, shape, or form, and they basically seduce them into being essentially Britney Spears. But the guy doesn't want to do that because he doesn't trust going into a contract that he hasn't read yet, and they kind of break up, I guess, or they just don't see each other anymore. And then the main protagonist basically goes into a myriad of stuff. I'm not making any sense here because this movie is impossible to describe. But basically, the whole thing is an allegory for Adam and Eve. She eats the literal apple from the Garden of Eden that's given to her by Mad Max in Beyond Thunderdome. They have a song about it. They snap her fingers as she went from being naked while still wearing a fucking bodysuit to now wearing a dress, and now suddenly Vincent Price is basically Satan. Am I making any sense yet? Because I don't know if I am.
You lost me.
I lost you! This movie lost me! It lost me when they started singing about the Garden of Eden. This is a weird fucking movie, and it is one where the music is so... It's the weird thing about the music is that it manages to be the most decent thing in the movie, and still the thing that they fucked up the most. This music feels nonsensical and does not fit at all with the tone of this movie. I don't know what the tone that they're going for is, but nothing in this music feels like it fits with the story.
It doesn't even really fit with the tone very much, because there are topics that the songs talk about that really don't fit, like, I guess the moods that the movie's trying to depict. Like, if they're talking about the villain, then the song that describes the villain isn't really, like, a menacing song, you know, like Be Prepared from The Lion King, for example. It was a song that was, like, menacing. It depicted him as, like, an authoritarian leader, because that's what eventually Scar became. But in this movie, we get a Rasta number about how powerful a boss this guy is.
We get a Rasta number. Mel Gibson from Beyond Thunderdome tries to seduce the main protagonist into eating the apple of the Garden of Eden. There's a ballad where the main protagonist is singing after her lover just got beaten the fuck up by the Kingpin and his twin brother.
Oh God.
Then the guy finds Jesus, or whatever the hell this version of... He's supposed to be some hippie leader, and there's hippies now for some reason, and there's apparently a bunch of refugees in this universe, because apparently this is a movie where apparently hippies are refugees now? What? And they're all hiding in the forest, even though the main protagonist got ticketed for being in the forest and just laying there and touching grass.
I guess it's illegal to touch grass in this movie.
No wonder so many incels exist.
Yep.
This whole thing just... This movie introduces so many things, but doesn't really do a good job at explaining why they're doing that. Like, why is there a bunch of refugees that also happen to be hippies? This is 1994. The hippie movement is way past dead.
Yep.
And also...
There's still hippies in the 90s.
In this universe, yes, because they're apparently... The hippies apparently don't know the concept of, hey, let's go home, because they apparently think the hippies live in the fucking forest or something like that. Hippies exist in the forest. Did you know that, Emmanuel? I didn't know that until I saw this movie.
I don't know, maybe ask Menahem Golem, the director.
This is a weird fucking movie. And to say that it's weird is giving it a disservice, because when we watched this and everything just kind of went from 0 to 100, no, Kate, my sanity actually is about to go down, so you're just in time to see me lose my shit. Thank you for joining us, by the way. The movie essentially goes from 0 to 100, and then it goes back to 0, and then back to 100 at its most convenient. Like, this movie has so many weird musical sequences that either don't really mash up with the story, or when they do, they kind of leave plot holes in the story itself. Like, in the beginning where we see the main character, BB and Bon Jovi, or whatever the hell this guy's name was, we see them performing this really weird love ballad after the movie opens with this weird progressive rock band performing, and the song that they begin with, that was pretty cool, but then you see this sort of pseudo Carpenter style song that they're going for, and everybody starts booing and heckling them, and they really start to get on the nerves until they start to win the audience over. But then, for some reason, Vincent Price says, you know what, put this music in there, don't ask questions, just do it. And then everybody starts getting pissed because there's this weird beeping sound happening, and they're all getting mad at them performing instead of whoever the hell put that noise in the background. And then they get offered a contract? Like, were they trying to sabotage them? Why are they offering a contract to these people if they were trying to get them booed off the stage? Did that make any sense to you, Diego?
I'm still short-circuiting from this movie, man. I'm still recovering from it.
You're still recovering. I'm still trying to make sense of what the hell the main character's name is.
Why is his name Alfie? Is he the puppet?
I listened to that name, and the first thing that comes to my mind is that douchebag who got his dick cut off who killed John Wick's dog.
Oof.
Oh god, no. What I love is that during that sequence where they do that song where she eats the apple from the Garden of Eden, all of this is happening in his head. It's happening in his head, and no one really notices this. And after it happens, it's a moment of, oh, okay, that just happened. All right, well, moving on, everybody.
Yeah, let's just go back to normal.
Exactly. It's like we just spent 5 minutes singing where Mel Gibson, Bon Jovi, Bryan Adams was singing about taking a bite out of the poison apple in the Garden of Eden, and all of a sudden we're back in this weird boardroom. Like, this movie doesn't know how to pace itself.
Oh, and there's so many weird choices with the story too. Like, okay, so I actually had 2 meltdowns watching this movie the first time I did.
Oh, please tell us more.
Okay, so the second one, I'm not going to spoil, which happens at the end, and I prefer to keep it that way. If you want to spoil it later, I don't care, but I won't spoil it. The first meltdown I had, there's obviously Sebastian told all you guys about the authoritarian government subplot, and it finally comes into play in this movie when there's all these like firefighters and surgeons and all these emergency workers just doing their jobs, when suddenly there's like a bullhorn announcement saying, hey, it's time for today's musical number, everybody get to singing and dancing. All these emergency workers and firefighters putting out fires and surgeons in the middle of a surgery just drop everything and start singing and dancing. I lost my shit. I could not comprehend what was happening. I was like, what the shit is this movie? And the second meltdown I had, which again I will not spoil, the only way I could describe it is the ending of the Bubble Buddy episode of SpongeBob. It just came out of nowhere and went off the rails so fast. It was like they couldn't think of how to end this movie. It's like, all right, let's just throw this in.
It really feels like that. It really feels like what happened to Poochie at the end of The Simpsons. It really felt like a moment of, I have to go now. My planet needs me. And they all just disappeared. The only thing missing was the text that says, Alfie and Bibi died on their way to their home planet.
Oh, God, that was fucking phenomenal. That was my least favorite and also favorite part of the whole thing, because I was frustrated and shocked and just in utter disbelief at what I was seeing.
Basically, the best way to describe it without spoiling it is, y'all remember the ending of Les Miserables? You know how sad it was, how Valjean passes away, and he gets reunited with everybody in the afterlife, and they do a reprise of Do You Hear the People Sing? Fuck that shit! That shit was sad. You want good? No, everything is peaceful here. Look, there's Michael Caine dressed in white. It's not really. I look at this and I'm thinking, when did this turn into Left Behind?
Oh God, that was so
Oh my God. I'm trying not to spoil it, but it is so difficult for me to not laugh at how ludicrous this was. It's the apocalypse! Not the one we're living in, a different one, where everything is still green, and red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I dream to myself what a wonderful end of the world.
Oh God, that's fucking great.
Oh my God.
Again, you guys gotta see this thing. If you're listening to this podcast, you guys gotta watch this movie. It is so good. It's indescribably bad, but also like indescribably good in the best of ways.
Oh my God. Oh, I love this. And remember the truth that once was spoken. To love another person is to see the face of Cain. Oh my God. I swear to God, the only thing that was missing is for literal Jesus Christ to just show up and just start singing and dancing like it's fucking Jesus Christ Superstar. We could have been watching that instead. Instead, we were watching this. Next time we're doing this, we're doing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Something religiously cheesy, but good cheesy. Because this shit was just cheesy. And I don't know if good can describe it, but it was definitely something. Emmanuel, you have something to say about this movie, I'm sure.
Honestly, the more you talk about this movie, the more I can't find the words to describe or talk about this movie because I have nothing to say about this at all. This movie is kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Hell, I'd rather watch Ninja 3 than this.
Ninja 3 was a fucking masterpiece compared to this. This was... I don't know how to describe it. It's just... There's something omnipotent about this. Like, no matter how bad we talk about it, it is not going to die. It is literally like Jesus. It just refuses to die.
Or the Terminator. You kill it, you try, but it always comes back. It never was done.
Quite
it
literally.
doesn't feel pity. It doesn't feel pity or remorse
or fear. And it will absolutely not stop ever until you are musicalized.
Yep. This movie is a religion in and of itself.
This film, like, this movie will make you will turn you into a born-again Christian by the end, because you will see the light, literally, at the end of all of this. Because no one who is that faithless can look at this movie and not think to themselves, there has to be a higher arc somewhere that is watching over us, because how else do you explain how a masterpiece like this can exist? Like, people will talk about Morbius being a masterpiece. They have not seen the apple.
Sebastian, I believe you called this movie the Room of Musicals.
Yes, and I stand by that. This is lit. This movie is everything that The Room is if it had musical numbers in it. And I don't think don't think I'm giving this movie enough credit by talking about it. This film is just a blast to sit down and watch, especially if you can track down the Shout Factory Blu-ray. If you can find it somewhere out there in the Wasteland, I'm sure you can still find a copy elsewhere. But the damn thing is just worth the watch. It is such glorious cheese. It is easily the best, cheesiest piece of shit I will ever recommend on this show.
Yep, I stand by that.
It is just amazing. And in case you're wondering how long the movie is, it's as long as this episode is right now. It's less than 90 minutes, so you don't have to watch too much. You don't have to do any research on this. You don't need to watch any videos explaining the ending of the apple. None of these characters are going to be appearing in any Kirk Cameron Save Me Christmas cinematic universe or anything like that. This movie, you watch it and you get exactly what you came for. It's like Cocaine Bear, except there's no bears or cocaine. But there is a lot of drugs and LSD and some really ugly Lil Nas X looking motherfucker who wishes he was just as good looking as the real Lil Nas X.
Yeah. That was my favorite character in the whole movie.
The motherfucker with like jewels in his teeth. It's
fantastic.
I love this movie. I love the fact that the Vincent Price character is like, sorry to keep you waiting. It's like, well, gee, no shit, you were keeping us waiting. You were doing a musical number right in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
This entire movie's just, we're not doing this justice. You gotta see this for yourself to understand just how ridiculous and cheesy it is. Basically, it's a rock opera retelling of the Garden of Eden where the world is run by a conglomerate. Basically, imagine Blade Runner if it was much less subtle and it had musical numbers in it.
I wish we could see a Blade Runner musical. That'd be fantastic.
I would love to see a Blade Runner musical now that I say it.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to ask my buddy Lewis how he feels about a Blade Runner musical.
Don't tell him anything about this. I want to force his ass to sit down and watch this movie just so that I can force him to suffer through it. This is what he'll get for not watching watching Demon Slayer without me. Fucking hell. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that we're done talking about the apple, I think it's about time we finish this up by talking about what possible reviews they did for this on Letterboxd. Yes, Kate, we are totally Yes. Oh my god, yes, we need to get Brendan to do a drunk recap on this and get fucking Brentalfloss and God damn it, I keep forgetting his name. Get Brentalfloss and Broadway by Daylight involved in it. Yes.
I thought you were going to say Wait in the Wings.
Wait in the Wings, yes. He actually did a drunk recap talking about the 2019 version of Cats. He needs to do one for this movie. It would be fucking hilarious. Like,
okay, that is just torture.
We watched this without any alcohol whatsoever. Imagine how hilarious it'll be for him to watch this while drunk off his ass. Oh my god. It'll be hilarious.
It could be more painful than to have him dressed as a cat walking around the Brooklyn Bridge, I think.
Hey, that was hilarious. And to be fair, he brought that on himself. Yes, I know I met him! You gotta remember, I am terrible with... I know him by name! I know him as Mark! I forgot what his YouTube name was! I'm sorry, Mark! Oh my god, he's gonna watch this, he's gonna be fucking pissed. Okay, so... Well, before I get cancelled on Twitter for forgetting who Broadway by Ghostlight's name was, what do you say we play a little game and see whether or not you guys can tell which of these reviews are positive or negative?
Alright, let's do this.
Alright then. Okay, who wants to go first?
Emmanuel should go first.
Alright, Emmanuel.
Alright. Just get it over with.
Come on, you put a little more effort into that. You know you want this.
Okay. Yeah, fuck no! I'd rather have my nuts get tasered than go through this again.
You play the game and I'll kick you and then that's when I meet you again. No worries. Okay, so here's your review. Oh god, I'm so sorry for this one. The sexually explicit disco song, the firemen doing coordinated leg kicks in front of a burning building. This is the gayest musical I've ever seen. I've transcended. 1 star or 5 stars?
5 stars.
It's 1 star. It's 1 star.
That sounds like a 5-star review.
You would think that! You would think that it's a 5 star! I was so shocked when I read this! Oh my god. Okay, let's see. Alright, Diego? This film goes all in on extreme hyperbolic emotion while simultaneously deciding to invest 0 time on characterization and character development, and I think that's beautiful.
That sounds like a 5-star review.
You want to know what the worst part is? It is a 5-star review. Oh my god. This is beautiful. Emmanuel, your turn. Okay. Come on, you got this. Do you want to look bad in front of everyone else on the internet?
I don't know. Can you find me a date?
I'm not a miracle worker. Let's see. Utterly nonsensical from start to finish, where nothing from the baffling set design to the ridiculous songs and acting to the choreography seems to have been thought up by sane human beings or any human beings. But I loved every second of it.
5 stars.
Yes, it is 5 stars!
Yeah!
Yeah, you finally got one right.
Yay! Hooray!
Okay, let's see. Diego. Okay. Oh my god, this is a good one. Bim Burger, motherfucker! I fucking love this movie.
Oh, that's definitely 5 stars.
It's actually 1.
What?
I'm not even kidding, it's a 1 star.
Oh, man.
I know. This is the best one ever. Oh god. Alright, Diego. Sorry, Emmanuel. Your turn, and I think this one might be easy for you. It's like someone made Rocky Horror by accident. More accurately, like someone made Shock Treatment by accident. Also, this movie will make 90% more sense to Eurovision fans. Oh, that's a good one.
I want to say 5, but my gut says 1 star.
Are you sure?
Alright. I'm rolling the dice here. 1 star.
You were right at first. It is actually 5 stars.
Mother. Actually, I don't care if I'm right or wrong about this, honestly.
Oh, come on. Where's the joy in that?
I lost my joy a long time ago.
My god. Okay. Diego, last one. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, this is a good one. The gays said to the straights, "May I tempt you with a big red rosy apple?" And the only the girl said, "Ha ha, I love gays. You're so fierce." Smiley face. And the guy was like, "Nah, I'm homophobic. I'm gonna go grope my gratuitously Jewish landlady and whine about having no girlfriend." Frowny face.
Is that sermon finished?
Yeah, it's finished. It's finished.
I can't I'm gonna say 5 stars?
Do you really want to know what this is?
Oh god.
It is a 5 star.
No way.
I am not fucking kidding.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. This movie is beautiful. It has some of the greatest reviews I have ever read in my life. And this is only for this movie. Imagine what other movies have reviews such as these. This is a treasure trove of memes that we are not cashing in on.
I'm telling you, it is worth reading.
Exactly. So, guys, what did you think about today's episode?
I had a lot of fun. It was good.
How about you, Emmanuel, who's acting like a sore loser?
Actually, I had fun when we were talking about Ninja 3, because this out of all the movies that we roasted, Ninja 3 takes the K to be the most fun.
I mean, you say that, but this movie is also really funny in every way, shape, or form, and you totally check it out just because it is that silly and that ridiculous.
Most canon films. I mean, just wait until you watch Invasion USA.
I've never heard of it, but if it's anything like these movies, I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of fun making fun of them.
Well, I'll just give you the quick pitch. It's basically Chuck Norris fighting terrorists.
Fuck Chuck Norris, homophobic little shitbag. But yes, apart from this, we definitely need to do something like this in the future again, because this was a ton of fun. For now, though, we will definitely reconvene in about 2 weeks, where we will be doing another episode. We don't know what the topic is going to be. It ain't gonna be this again. Not yet. We will think about what other movies to eventually roast. But for now, I just have to say thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like what you see here and you want to see us do more, then go ahead and check out our Patreon page for bonus content and exclusive rewards, including the chance to not only be able to help us keep the lights on in here, but also have a chance to join us here in the show as one of our guests. Yes, we actually have seats open for patrons who choose to be a part of the show. All you gotta do is go to Patreon and give us a pledge for about $1 to $20. Yes, we have from 1 to 20 pledges here, and whichever one you choose to help us keep the lights on in here will guarantee you access to our Discord server, and if you get to the higher pledge, you can actually be a part of the crew and actually join us here for the next News from the Wasteland episode. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time that we say goodbye for now, but if you are fans of us here and you would like to see more, then also remember to check out our YouTube channel for bonus content and exclusive rewards. Oh my god, what the hell am I even saying right now? I am totally just spaced out talking about this. And you guys just left me here all by myself. Yep, they left me. Well,
We're here for you, man.
you assholes just abandoned me there and made me look like a fool right now, because I completely missed out on what the hell I was saying. Because these movies have fucked my head up so badly that I just repeated myself. And you disappeared again! Well, thank you all for watching! We will be here again next week. Until then, I'm Sebastian from Cinemageddon Reviews, signing out, and I'll see you on the Wasteland.